Well, good evening, all. Ira Epstein, and here we are with your metal market wrap-up. And this is your weekend edition for this Sunday, the 3rd of August, 2025. And I am back, all right? Had a great time. If you're a paid subscriber to my morning videos and my full research, you know that I was putting those out. What I didn't put out when I was gone were these, but I am back now, and I'm pretty much in the swing of things again. I kept up with the markets when I was gone, but not sitting in front of them night and day. That I refused to do. Had a great time of cleaning my brain out, doing nothing but watching stupid TV, and sitting in the sun a little bit and enjoying. All right, so we had a pretty good sized break in most of the metals, as you know, on Friday. There's different combinations of things going on here. You're getting first the dollar soared, and then the dollar fell apart off the U.S. jobs report. And what the jobs report did is not earth-shattering. We had a revision of 2 months in it. Do you know how often we get that? It's a regular event. So what the president got all upset about, I don't know, other than this seems to be a regular event. Now, if he can get somebody in there that doesn't get revisions like this, well, that'd be even better. We'd be trading on even cleaner data. The problem is, as long as I can recall, you always have revisions, and come March, you always have a major revision to the data. So maybe he can do better. I don't know. You know, he seems to be doing better in tariffs, and he's finished that part off. So where are we on everything now? So what's the next big event that's going to happen? It's probably something with Russia. He gave them, when I was gone, 7 to 10 days, and we're coming quickly to the end of that. I haven't seen them make any proposals to do anything. In fact, if anything, Medvedev, I think is how you pronounce his last name, the past president of Russia, what he did, I think he's the past president, what he did is he basically threatened enough of terror, enough to the U.S. where President Trump has sent 2 submarines closer to Russia, to their border. Okay. It's just a message. Nobody's doing a nuclear war. That's not going to happen. But this is a president that believes in force showing. He's also about to hit Russia with huge tariffs and maybe take them out of the SWIFT system completely. That would be crippling in many ways. Now, you might say that's not so. Iran was doing 1.8 million barrels a day. They're down to 1.2 since we've gotten friendly with them. I want to use that in quotes facetiously saying. What do you think can happen here? So I don't know what's going to be going on. I know that Ukraine hit them over the weekend pretty hard. I saw the film. You can't deny that the certain oil depots and so on were hit, and they were ablaze. That's all that I know. The thing is, how do you end this? And that's been the elusive part. How do you end in the president in Gaza? I think he's thrown his hands up. And while I watched, as we had, what was it, Witkoff was there? You know these are planned trips. He's not seeing the worst of everything. Take him where the people are starving. Take him to the hospitals where you see babies that, they're bones. That's basically it. You know, this is always done in such a way to politicize all these events. I don't say it's right or wrong. The Mideast has been out of control since Christ died. What can you say? It's nutty what is going on there. All right. The dollar, looking as I see it, trying to correct a little bit of all the gain that it made. That doesn't mean it's fallen out of favor. The metals as a whole tonight are all up. So let's go and take a look at gold. First off, on a monthly basis, it was an all-time high close. End of discussion. Second, the market is still stuck in the trading range before I left. Do you think you've come out of this? If you look at this peak to that decline afterwards, you haven't come out of that in any manner yet. The pattern on a weekly chart is one of lower highs and a lower low. So you're still in a bit of a downtrend. The momentum is up. That's what's fighting it. You have not been able to close under the 18-week average, so the bias is up, the momentum, if you will, from that. The Bollinger Bands are narrowing in even further. When they narrow in like this, you get to these points where the markets narrow in, and out of that comes the bigger moves. I still think tariffs are inflationary. I fully differ with everything that I hear politicians talk about, that it's one-off, including the Fed. It's not one-off. It's a one-off permanently higher number. We live with that every month. If that's what you mean one-off, the shock is one-off, but the inflation number is higher. So if you have a 15% inflation number and things don't change, you're 15% higher, and you'll say, well, that's one-off. Well, every month you're paying 15% more. I don't know that that's one-off. One-off to me is you pay 15% one month, and then it falls back to where it was before that. Then it's a one-off. When I look at gold in the weekly chart, lower highs, lower lows right in here with that, and the slow stochastic staying overbought. So they either embed or they got to correct a bit more than that. The weekly chart of the gold silver, on the weekly, silver is still stronger than gold. Yes, it's seen a correction from roughly 87 to 90.63, but it hasn't been able to get back over the 18-week average of closes. Silver on its own is still bullish. You still have the pattern of higher lows and higher highs. You did lose the embedded reading. Typically, before you go and take out the most recent high of 39.41, you make a run at the 18-week average before that ends. In the copper market, you've done enough here. And you'll say, what do I mean by that? You're already at the 100-week average. You're getting oversold. You don't have to go much lower. And go do yourself a favor. Look at where copper was before the president put on the 50% tariff. Look where it's at now. You've basically gone full circle. Platinum lost its bullish embedded reading. When you do that, friends, those that just lose them, they either regain them, or that means that slowly price and the 18-week average are going to try to make a run at each other. In the dollar, it was the same thing. You lost the bearish embedded reading. You made your run to the 18-week average. That's all you've done. I think the jury is still out as to whether the dollar has conclusively turned the corner. Short term, the swing lines, the action has been bullish, not bearish, but it's got to prove it can stay over that 18-week average to keep this going. Now, I want to remind you that while I was gone, my subscribers got all my research. When people pay me for something, I believe I should deliver, and I do. I'm entitled to take a vacation, don't get me wrong. Who isn't? You work for somebody or you work for yourself, you're probably taking some time off too. But that doesn't mean I walk away. I did my morning videos, my subscriber videos. I put out trades as I saw them. I didn't write a full letter. I gave them the reports that were coming out and what to be on and look for, and that's where I left it. I'll start writing full letters on Monday. I'm not going to do them tonight. I will do it on Monday, and then it's be like, all right, I'm back in the groove. Let's start writing away. But to get this research and keep up with what I'm doing, because these evening videos, you're just getting the tip of what I do. It's not where you hear me say, buy here, sell there. Here's what I want you to do. Here's where the stops are. Come out, and we track the trades from beginning to end. I am going to do special reports. They're all included with my research. Just go to iraepstein.com research on the website, or you can click on one of the icons you see up here, and that's it. I'm Ira. I'll see you in the morning video. You have a great evening. It's good to be back. Take care.